Let's see just how blue this lock really is. What's up guys, Lorenzo, and here we are to do a breakdown and review and live reaction to chapter 239 of Blue Loco, which is known as Creation. Now, obviously, I've already seen the whole fandom explode over Uber's finally being over. Though I did see some Uber's copium, something about an offsides goal. So I'm very interested in this chapter. Obviously, this is the wrap-up chapter. We're probably going to get like 2 or 3 more chapters preparing for PXG. I don't think we're going to immediately transition into that. So I'm very interested to see how this chapter plays out. If it's going to play out something to the end of the Munchen game, the end of the Barcha game, something in between. Because remember, Isagi won his little bet with Kaiser. He proved himself, well, admittedly, super contextual. I don't think Isagi's better than Kaiser yet. Not yet. But he did get his bet won. He scored more than Kaiser did and beat him as a playmaker last game. So there's a lot to be excited about. So let's not waste any more time and we'll hop right into it. Editing me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up guys? Lorenzo here. Fun fact, I have it on me and I keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, this is Peak Lock, aka peak every week. Unless it's like on break. So yeah. Oh yeah. We're pre-drawing it, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, I think this chapter kind of has to be a pre-draw. Like, I don't know how they could fumble this one. If they somehow mystically, magically fumble this one, I have to redraw all my peaks. I have to put them all back. I have to take away all my pre-draws ever and just make everything unworthy. But once again, this has to be an easy chapter to get a massive dub on. So let's see chapter 239, Creation. Go! I love how even the announcer was stuttering a little bit, like they were shocked at what happened. Yo, look at Kaiser's face. Look at Kaiser's face. He's so nettled. He is in pure disbelief. Honestly though, allow me to huff some Kaiser copium, because I've already seen it. The community really started going crazy over Isagi getting that goal in and beating Kaiser in their little bet. We gotta remember, Kaiser was on lockdown the entire game. The whole game. Like, we gotta remember, this was a super favorable position for Isagi. Like, don't get me wrong, he still had Ness and Kaiser working against him, but like, Grim was non-existent this entire game. You had characters like Kunigami, Yukimaya, who were, if not directly supporting Isagi, indirectly supporting Isagi. You had the fact that Raichi was there supporting Isagi. A majority of the field, Hiori, obviously. You have a bunch of characters who, instead of supporting Kaiser like it could have been in previous games, they were strictly supporting Isagi. And if not strictly supporting Isagi, they were not getting in his way. Meanwhile, Kaiser didn't just have to fight against Isagi's whole crew, plus the adjutants like Yukimaya and Kunigami, but he also had to fight against Lorenzo, another new Gen 111 player, and some of the best defense, no, not even some of the best, likely the best defense in the entire Neoegotist league. And just Lorenzo. Like, Lorenzo's literally the hardest counter to Kaiser in existence. He blocked the Kaiser impact with his face. I don't know what exactly you want Kaiser to do. So don't get me wrong, I'm happy that he's looking like this, but let's not get too crazy now. Let's not get too crazy now. We're not gonna suddenly start saying Isagi's better than Kaiser. Let Kaiser cook. Let Kaiser cook. He better go crazy in PXG. I've seen a lot of people saying Kaiser's not gonna score in PXG, and I swear if that's the case, I'm gonna cry. But another face I want to give credence to. I love how Ness is just shocked. Like Kaiser, you can see there's like this element of shock, but like rage. Like his eyes are wide open. But Ness, he just looks crestfallen. Bro looks just sad. Like, I gotta imagine it's because of what this implies, right? Like, this implies that that's it. That's it. No longer are they the kings of BM. No longer do they lead the field in their own way, shape, and form. No longer does everyone within Blue Lock need to bend to their heel like it was just 3 games ago. Now, if anything, the new kings are not only established by Noah's word. Whoever was the more productive is able to lead BM. This game was to decide that, and look who it is. It's Hiori, Isagi, likely Corona, Yukimaya, Kunigami. The Blue Lockers, they took over in that sense. And also, well, shoot, remember, it was Noah who gave Kaiser the stipulation to not interfere, to not make any stupid, irrational plays. But, like, we glaze over it because Ness ended up failing, and Isagi got the lefty direct shot off. But, like, that's blatant interference. The fact that Noah didn't acknowledge that at all this game feels a little hypocritical, but I think that's going to be acknowledged next time. If anything, I could see Ness getting benched next game. For who? I think for Hiori, unironically, because Corona should be back next game. Speaking of my little shark boy, he's here. Igaguri, I hate you, bro. Why are you here? Why are you? I just, like, no, he wouldn't even be worthy of that blade. Like, dog, I don't know. Igaguri, bro. Like, I legit, usually I'm a strange fella. Please stay out there. Okay. Usually I'm a strange fella. I don't typically always agree with, like, fandom-wide opinions. Like, you're looking at a guy who despises Panda with every fiber of my being. A majority of the community wants my head for that, the JJK community. You're looking at a guy who, I think Vegeta's alright, but I'm not the biggest fan of him, mainly because of how he's treated by the narrative, right? So, like, I have some controversial opinions relative to a lot of the community, depending on the manga I read. But there's no fandom-wide opinion that I've agreed with more, other than the fact that Igaguri should not be here. He simply shouldn't. And I know a lot of people are going to bring up, all 5 of you Igaguri fans out there, I don't know why you are fans, but all 5 of you Igaguri fans out there are going to be like, well, technically, he's the one who gave Isagi the idea to get an ambidextrous lefty shot. And that's how Isagi was able to win this game, you see. So, Pencil, you got to appreciate Igaguri's contributions to the No. No. Never. I would sooner let the sky fall than acknowledge that thing's waste of space and existence. I would take Kuon, Aemon, Naruhaya. All of them 1,000 times more than I would ever take that waste of cognitive and mental and panel space that is Igaguri. Though he disgusts me. But my Shark Boy should be back on the field next game. And the thing is, we know, even if, let's be super generous and say, Grim gets shoved out the way, because, you know, he did nothing this game. He literally did nothing this game. Grim gets shoved out the way for Corona, and Hiori becomes part of the starting lineup. Because that was another stipulation, right? Noah was like, hey, you better succeed, or else I'm kicking you off the team. Both of you are getting benched. So clearly, you can even see Noah's shocked reaction. He's like, I need to stick to my word. But literally, let's be generous to Ness. Let's say Corona comes on and replaces Grim. Hiori needs to be put on the team. He is. That was a stipulation of this game as well. Prove yourself, and then you'll be valid. You'll be allowed to join the team. That stipulation has been met. Hiori fills one specific role as a facilitator. Who's the current facilitator of BM? I don't know. I wonder who it could be. Oh, yeah. Ness. So, I genuinely think Ness may be benched next game. The only reason I don't think so is because I do believe we need Ness Kaiser backstory. And I don't think we're going to get that in between games. I think that's going to be a PXG thing. Or maybe, who knows, maybe we hold off super long for that. Maybe, I don't know. Would Kaneshiro Sensei do that, though? Maybe Kaneshiro Sensei could hold it off until, like, we run into BM again in the U20 League. In the U20 arc. That could be a thing that we wait for then. But I don't know. I feel like that's the thing with PXG, though. So much needs to happen in PXG. I'm going to make a video on that. So much needs to happen in PXG, just based on narrative setups so far. So, like, I honestly have no idea how long PXG should be the same length as the U20 arc, if not longer, for how much was actively set up already for that game. Well, the thing with U20 is that U20 kind of had to introduce a whole new cast of characters. Had to introduce Sendo, Aiku, the U20 Defenders. The rest of the U20 was pretty much relevant. But them, had to set up all of them, had to properly set up Sei and Rin and give us their proper backstory. Had to really show off Shido a lot more. And that was already a lot. The U20 arc, I believe, is the longest arc in the series. I think so. It's longer than Manshine, and it's longer than the Ubers game. So I do think U20 is the longest arc in the series. And even then, that had way less setup than what this final Neoegotist League game has to do for us. So I'm very intrigued to see where this is going to go next, because there are so many different things. But yeah, I do think there's a high possibility of Ness getting benched, in combination for the fact that we need to put more blue lockers on, and Hiori and Jin and Corona, and for the fact that he did make an illogical and irrational play. Isagi would have scored with a righty direct shot if Ness didn't get in the way. Sure, he had the tool to not need that, but it would have been preferable. And I don't think Noah's going to let that slide. I hope Noah doesn't let that slide. I know he only gave the stipulation to Kaiser, but, like, I hope he doesn't let it slide. A reaction I do like here, I love Snuffy's reaction, right? Like, obviously he wanted his team to win, his big nose, no eyebrow, have himself, but he's still grinning. He's still a fan of good soccer, and or good football. That's essentially what he saw here. He saw a beautiful play, and a guy like him who's all about like the mentality, the style that goes behind the play, the brain power that goes into playing football. Of course he's going to appreciate a play like this, where it is literally two high IQ, giga brain, galaxy brain planners working together reflexively in order to score literally the perfect goal. Like, it's got to be a little bit impressive even to him, and I like that he's giving them, it's not spoken at all, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like Snuffy's out here slopping them off or anything, but simply the reaction of a smile to his own team losing. Fantastic. You can see it's very different from the other Masters reactions when they lost. Chris was not happy when Munchen lost at the end of the game. And heck, we know for a fact that Lavahino wasn't happy when Barca lost. So that reaction just goes to show how good of a character Snuffy is. Once again, he's broken into my top 10 solidly, and if I reread Ubers now that it's a full experience, maybe I'll let PXG start before I do a solid reread of Ubers and do a full proper review of the game, so I can have pre-game, during game, and after game for a full comprehensive breakdown. But he may even sneak into my top 5 of how good his characterization is. What a magnificent strike! The hero of this match, Isagi Hiori. Look how hype Gagamori. Yo, bro is geeked, bro. Why is he so geeked? Well, obviously he's geeked. He's happy that it's over too. But dog, bro's sweat is literally flying upwards. Bro is going Super Saiyan. I don't know what it is about this image, but seeing Gagamoru so geeked is doing it for me. So happy. Let's see. The hero of this match is Isagi Hiori. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look at my boy. Look at my boy. Okay. Hiori's gotta be insanely I'm not sure. Once again, I'm like half a foot tall and 2 pounds. So I can't catch anybody. But hypothetically, if I were the appropriate size to catch another human being, I don't think I could straight hold him in midair like that. Especially like the rushing, I would be knocked over. To be fair, I've caught people before. I've been like jump scared before, and by jump scared I mean literally they've jumped on my back and scared me, and I've managed to stay standing. But like these two are relatively the same size. Usually it's like people who are smaller than me. Yes, people who are 5 inches tall. They're the people who like try and jump on me. But like, jeez, he already got the gains, bro. He's not even falling. Corona, where'd that cramp go, buddy? You already back up? But nah, this is a beautiful panel, a beautiful time. Shout outs to the hero of Blue Lock, Isagi Hiori. And well, there goes all the Ubers fans, Copium. 3-2. I still don't, like, notably, I remember hearing about it when the spoilers came out. People were like, it's an offsides goal, it's an offsides goal. I still don't get how you read last chapter and see that as an offsides goal. Like, me personally, I don't see it. Once again, I don't know that much about soccer / football. I just don't. I like Blue Lock, and I watch the World Cup. That's about it. That's about all I know. And I watch the World Cup, like, on and off. So, my football knowledge is practically non-existent. I haven't played the sport itself in a decade? I think it's been about maybe a decade and a half. Well, at least, like, seriously, like, for rec or anything, like, on a team or something like that. Like, I'll go play it, like, whenever my cousins visit, I'll go play football or soccer. But, like, that's about it. I have no idea about the full context of the sport, but that didn't look offsides to me. So, I'm glad that they got shot down. Don't get me wrong, Ubers fans. I understand your pain, but there was no way they were going to lose. Like, I was calling this all the way from the start of the game. I was calling it I think even before the game. I've been telling y'all my narrative since Munchen, which admittedly is where I started reviewing. So, but I've been holding the narrative that BM's going to go undefeated. And I think, even still, I think they're going to beat PXG. I think in order for Isagi to be set up as the hero of Blue Lock and enter a new age of being or walking the path towards the #1 striker, he needs to win all the games, one way or another. And once again, the Kaiser Isagi narrative is a very big thing I've been pushing as well. I do think those two are going to have to work together against PXG. I legit think they have to. I think if I had to give the 3 people who are going to score in PXG, unfortunately, this is going to suck for Yukimaya, because I don't think Yukimaya. I think it's going to be Isagi, and I think it's, well, not in any particular order. I'll do a full, proper breakdown on what I think the scoring is going to be in PXG. But I think one has to be Isagi, hero blue lock. One has to be Kaiser. He can't go out soft like that. I swear, he can't go out soft. That's just, maybe that's the Kaiser fan in me. That's me fearing for the Emperor's life. And finally, it has to be Kunigami. Those three have to score. They really are. Like, I say this even more than Yuki Maya. I say this more than Hiori. I say this more than pretty much anyone else. Those three are the main characters of BM. Kaiser, the original king, Isagi, the usurper, and Kunigami, the wild card. And especially since Kunigami has not scored, well, no, he scored in Munchen, but especially since Kunigami hasn't gotten like serious positive spotlight nor any elaboration on wild card, and he's going to be going up against the person who sent him to wild card in the first place in Shido, he has to score. I could see him being the final goal. I could definitely see him being the final goal. So I still see this narrative going strong. And unfortunately, Ubers was never one that really concerned me. Just based on their team structure. Like, I made the video talking about how I think Uber's kind of trash for Bara. He fixed it a bit, but, like, still. I could see Uber's losing. Well, actually, no. Uber's probably will go. This will probably be Uber's. Actually, no, they lost twice. This is their second loss because they lost to PXG. Though admittedly, Bara wasn't playing at that point. But let's see. Everybody screaming, everybody hype, everybody losing their gosh darn mind. Let's see. Amazing. What's with those two? They're twisted. Yeah, Aiku, isn't this what you wanted though? Like, admittedly, I will give this. Aiku's he's kind of been not a massive disappointment, but like outside of him unlocking Metavision and having, actually no, he's been fine. I think I just wanted more of a striker out of him, or like more liberation. He's still playing the final wall-esque role, but it's especially redundant on Ubers where they already have Lorenzo, the peak of defensive prowess within the new Gen 11. So like, it's kind of a thing where you automatically are going to get overshadowed just by a superior player. So I feel bad for Aiku. I definitely hope he gets more and proper screen time in the actual U20 arc itself. I do think it's going to be him and Nico leading the defensive front. And if that's the case, I really hope he gets more. Because this game, I don't know. Once again, I do need to do a comprehensive reread now that it's all out. Typically, I'll glance at old Blue Lock chapters in the midst of a game going on just to make sure I'm fresh on everything, but I don't reread until it's over. So maybe I need to do a solid reread. Aiku does have some clutch saves against Isagi. He unlocks Metavision, so he doesn't have a bad game per se, but in comparison to his U20 self, and from what a lot of people were expecting from Aiku, I do think he was a tad disappointing. Let's see. And the one person I will give credit to, I'll give a lot of credit to Nico, especially considering how much he adapted for this game and how much of a facilitator he was. I saw a post talking about it, but Nico went bonkers in this game. He was consistently switching places, locking people down, and even though he got outplayed a couple times, he literally just got Metavision. He literally just got the DLC, so I can't even get mad at him for it. And notably, he's specifically only using... Well, actually, no. He's using both sides of Metavision. And we see in Munchen, when Isagi first unlocks it, it has a lot of kinks to work out when you first unlock it. So, Nico, shouts to my boy. I can't believe it. No, it's theoretically possible. But I can't believe it. For this to work, those two, at that moment, those two who... Okay, Nico, stop saying those two. Those two switched up without... synced up without even making eye contact. Someone pointed it out. I'm not taking this comparison as my own, but I do not remember the person who pointed it out. I don't think it was in my comment section. I think it was somewhere else that I saw it. But the goal from last chapter is very similar to the goal that Sei and Shido had. The reflex X reflex, that kind of goal, it's very similar. Remember the goal that Shido made? I believe it was the dragon shoot dive. It was off the penalty kick. Shido he had the penalty kick off of Nico's kicking his foot, and Shido wanted to kick it, but Shido ended up running for it when Sei convinced them, hey, can't you just do more? Can't you just be better, bro? Like, can't you just lock in more? And ultimately, Shido did lock in more, and they had a very similar goal to this one, where it was reflex X reflex. So this is a phenomenon we've seen before, but I suppose Nico's so shocked by it because unlike that scenario, where it was... I wouldn't say a sterile scenario, but Shido's goal and Sei's goal in that moment was a lot more reasonable because a lot of pieces were locked in place. It was a penalty kick. Meanwhile, Hiori and Isagi not only just had to sync that up on the fly, but also in a very active game with some really good defenders right on top of them. Meanwhile, no offense to the Blue Lock U20 team, but the defense on that team wasn't really the best outside of Gagamaru. So... ultimately, I do think this feat is just as impressive, especially considering I still don't think Isagi has Shido's level of finishing or physical ability. Not yet, if ever. So the fact that they're able to do that, super duper impressive. And I understand why Nico doesn't think that's possible. Because once again, especially as a Metavision user and as a person who relies on data, the Watchtower himself, he's probably like, he had limited specs parameters. He was like, this should be what they're capable of. And then they exceeded that through acting purely on reflex, which is very, very impressive. Once again, goes to show Nico has a long way to go, and I think we're going to see him break down or stop a play like this in the future against one of the U20 teams. In the future. We have to. I do think IQ is going to get more moments. I think Nico's going to get more moments. Are I'm not sure about. Then again, who else are we going to put? Like, I don't think any of the other U20 defenders are going to matter enough. And RU is still really, really good. It's just that he kind of fell to the wayside as a striker. But hey, that's kind of what Blue Lock is all about at this point. So let's see. Impossible, unless those two synced up perfectly. Their thought process. They saw the things they saw in the field. Everything needed to be in sync. It's true. Oh, well, I say it's true like I've had in a moment like that. And outside of like video games, like one instance in track and field, I can't say I have had a moment where it's like, you just straight up have a biochemical, psychological, mental link with somebody else to perform the perfect action in the perfect moment in the perfect second. Like, it is nigh on impossible. So I don't blame Nico for being so bamboozled, because it's true. Like, they literally had to be on the exact same wavelength. If one thing went wrong, if it's kind of, once again, going back to that same Shido goal, it was such a surgical shot. It was in the perfect space. If it was slightly off reticle, would have whiffed. Or maybe the goalkeeper would have been able to block it. Or maybe the ball wouldn't have reached Isagi. Or something wouldn't have happened. They needed to be in that, like, super flow, next level state of pure understanding of each other. Very, very nice. I'm very interested to see how this duo in particular evolves, especially when you start to work in characters like Corona back into it. Because the interplanetary hotline combined with a short-range passer and a long-range passer could go absolutely crazy. I'm very excited to see how they work in PXG. Let's see. We got destroyed by those two. An attack that surpassed even the perfect design we could have created. Is there no winning vision? I've had literal months with this man. I still can't settle on a voice for him. I have no idea. Like, I want to give him a slimy voice, but I'm not able to do that. We are destroyed by those two. An attack that surpassed any perfect design we could have created. Sharing a winning vision that surpasses logic and theory. It was a risky gamble, but for them to pull it off in this do or don't situation, you gotta tip your cap to those crazies. They were the heroes of this match. Yeah, that goal just now was worth 100 million. Okay. Oh, okay. Look at Lorenzo. Look at Lorenzo, a little bit of glaze. Okay. Lorenzo, we appreciate the glaze. W glaze. Though, I mean, honestly, I can't even blame him for glazing. And of course, I know y'all are gonna be like, Pencil, you're an Isagi glazer yourself. Of course you're not gonna blame him for glazing. But once again, Lorenzo, he may be relatively new to soccer. You can tell by how recent his goals are, but even still, he can respect the play. He can respect the fact that they literally had almost everything working against them. It was the two of them versus the entire world, and they still managed to pull it off. They managed to be the design of literally the best player in the world. According to Noah himself, the best player, the best strategist. Like, I don't think, unless something crazy happens with another U20 member or something like that, I don't think we're going to see a person with higher game IQ than Snuffy for the entire series. Unless Isagi develops a higher one by end of series. I think that's it. I think we've seen the pinnacle. And they were able to surpass that. So, of course, Lorenzo, someone who especially respects Snuffy's planning, he's going to be shocked but impressed that they were able to surpass it. And we know Lorenzo, he's the kind of guy who will give credit to those who deserve it. He's not going to give credit to everybody. He was insulting Raichi earlier in the game because he literally had no value. But seeing Mr. 50 mil pull off something like that, he's going to give his credence. This is honestly one of my favorite Lorenzo panels. I don't know. I really like how he's drawn here. He's not as slimy, but he still is slimy. It's that perfect balance, as all things should be. What's wrong, Bara? What's wrong, huh? What's wrong, Bara? You, hold on, bucko. Hold on, I don't have anything. How would I do this? This is gonna be how's this L feel? How does L feel, broski? How's it feel? Would it be this way, or would it be this way, or would it be this way? I have no idea. But how's this L feel, bro? Does it feel good? Does it feel good? I'm not sure. This will be flipped, right? I think so. Like, Bara, hold this L for me real quick. Hold it for me, bro. How does it feel? Talking all that smack. Mr. 100 million. Oh, Isagi, you're just what? Oh, man, bro. How you feeling, broski? How you feeling, broski? Grown man losing to a teenager. How you feel about that? But I know he's literally like 18. He's like 17. But still, how you feel, bro? Me personally, I wouldn't have let that slide after talking all that smack. Me personally, that's just me though. That's just me though. I say all this knowing that Bara would absolutely just throw me halfway across the world. Like, I know Bara, if I were to teleport in a blue lock, would give me all the hands and I would lose immediately. But from the safety of another and higher reality, Bara, you can hold that out. I want to see him give respect, though. Bara's admitted when he's beat before, so I want to see him admit it. Let's see. Oh, no. Wow. We better get more Bara. We better get more Bara, at least acknowledging it. I just don't want him steaming and fuming. Don't give me just that. Come on now. Nomura, Kanejiro Sensei, you know you want to give me some more than that. You want to give me some more. Give me some more. Maybe that's me being greedy, though. Maybe that'd be out of character for Bara. Let's see. Oh, we're out focusing on Ness now. What was that just now? They didn't even make eye contact. What? Huh? That kind of chemical reaction is disgusting. There's no way they could sync up like that. And honestly, once again, I give credit to Ness for believing this because it's hard to believe. Notably, obviously, Isagi and Hiori have played together before. They do understand each other's playstyle. Hiori was literally studying Isagi the entire game. And you could make a pretty solid argument that if you don't think Isagi has the best game IQ of the Blue Lockers, he at least is number 2. I think the only competition you make him... I mean, I don't know. Once again, we're going to have to see how Rin has power crept. Because Isagi has gotten a bunch of game IQ buffs over the past 3 games. So you could make the solid argument that Isagi has the number 1 Blue Lock IQ and fully understands Hiori's specs and capabilities, and Hiori was studying Isagi the entire game, so he has a full repertoire of Isagi's stats. And thusly, them syncing without looking at each other kind of makes sense, because they both know the most optimal points to reach with their respective capabilities. So it's not too insane when you put it that way, but on the fly, I still get why Ness is so bamboozled. Especially since it's likely he can't do that with Kaiser. He at least has to make eye contact, some sort of connection. Let's see. That essence. That's the essence. What? But it is. That the essence. That's a weird line. The magic of Yoichi's football? But is that... Oh, okay, never mind. But is that the essence, the magic of Yoichi's football? So, even Ness is becoming a believer? Yo, you know it's bad when you got Ness believing in the magic of Isagi Yoichi, dog. Isagi, you changing the world, bucko. You got Ness believing in you? Ness of all characters? Bucko, that's crazy. Yes. And I love how it's an automatic thought process and no one's provoking him into thinking this. He's not talking with somebody and being told this. No. The mad magician of BM himself is automatically thinking that must just be the magic. That must just be what makes Isagi. Yo. I'll take it. Fine. You're not going to give me borrow glaze? I'll take Ness glaze. I will take Ness glaze wholeheartedly. Thank you. It's scrumdiddlyumptious. I'm going to eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ooh, I'm excited. Well, let's see. Kaiser, how you feeling, broski? I see the shadow on your face. You got the double ellipses. Is it the triple? Nah, it's just the double. Maybe it won't be too bad. You only got the double. If you had the triple ellipses, we'd be in trouble, folks. But let's see. Shido, is that you? Did he just go Super Saiyan 3? His hair's about to grow. What? Why is this such a fire pen? This is in the thumbnail. The chapter has to have something else insane for this to not be the thumbnail. Or be part of the thumbnail. This has to be one of the 3 panels. Editing me, I don't know what you're going to do. I always speak... So the funny thing is, editing me is always a future me. There's never really editing me in the past, except for previous videos. So like whenever I read, I do take mental notes of like, okay, this will be the thumbnail, this will be the thumbnail, this will be the thumbnail. But there are many times where I've seen a panel earlier on in the chapter and think this will be in the thumbnail, and then it's nowhere near it. So we'll see. But whoo, he is furious, bro. Is he actually screaming on live TV? You gotta remember, this is all being broadcasted live. Live on TV. Kaiser, the sponsors are watching. The people with the big money, they're watching, Kaiser. You can't be freaking and geeking like this. You still have the best goal in arguably all Blue Lock, in my opinion. Bro, chill out, chill out. But darn. But you know that rage comes from deep in his heart. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm giving Kaiser excuses. Well, he was only working with 1 or 2 real supportive people in Grim and Ness. Well, he was going up against the most solid defensive team in the Neoegotist League. Well, Lorenzo did put the clamps on him the entire game, and then literally never took him off the moment he actually got free for half a second. All this was true, but none of that matters to Kaiser. I bet none of it matters, because the only thought going through his head is, I lost to Yoichi. I lost to Yoichi after talking all, like, there is nothing more humbling and self-defeating than talking insane amounts of smack and then losing. I know from personal experience. Once again, don't do this. Don't do this. Do not do this. Listen to what I say, but do not do what I do. I decided to run money matches with one of my homies and fighters. Because I was like, you know what, I'm feeling good that day. And the thing is, we both had work that day. So we were talking all kinds of smack over the phone, over calls. I was on the way home and we were talking smack. And I was talking mad. Because, you know, on average, like, give us 10 separate days to play fighters. 7 out of those 10 days, I'm usually winning our sets. He'll get games off me. Don't get me wrong. If we're doing a 1st to 5, he'll get like 3 games off me. But usually them are like the warm-up games. Once I get locked in, once I get my fingers warmed up, then we're good. That's why I was down with doing money matches with him anyway. There's the one friend who I would never money match, because I might as well pay him before we play. That's the one friend. You know, he does sometimes watch my videos, so if you get here, you know exactly who you are. No, I'm never money matching you. You can stay out of my phone. I'm not money matching you until I'm literally like Goichi or something. We're not doing that, because I might as well just pay you beforehand. But I thought this was just going to be some easy extra income. I lost. Oh, I'm not going to say how much, but let's just say I ate my words that day, because I'll admit, he was not talking too much smack. It was mainly me. I was like, bro, you not want this Trunks work. You gonna get all, man, I know that exact feeling that Kaiser's going through right now. Admittedly, I ain't screamed till I looked at my bank account later. But I understand the feeling of like, you talked all that smack. You put all that stock in yourself only to lose. It don't matter. Just like I could say for that day, my controller was sticking. We were playing online. The game was laggy. A bird flew past the window and caught my attention. I looked away from the screen, and that's how you managed to do TOD me. Like, none of that matters. None of that matters. It could all be true. It could all be a lie. It doesn't matter what caused Kaiser to lose to Isagi. It's just the fact that Kaiser lost to Isagi. That's all that matters. So I know, bro, is net hold. I could tell. And look, you know it's bad when even Ness is like, Kaiser, you okay, bro? You're losing your good mind right now, Kaiser. Remember, we're on live TV. Live TV, you're mic'd up, Kaiser, you're mic'd up. You just blew out all the audience's eardrums. You can't be screaming like that. Kaiser? He's locked in. He's locked in. Kaiser, I swear, if you don't score in PXG, bro, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Kaiser, please. Oh, sweet mother mercy, Kaiser, please don't fail me now. Kaiser, I beg of you. Kaiser, I beg of you. Please don't fail me now. Please, Kaiser, have not all my stocks. You know, a majority of my stocks are invested in Yoichi coin. Make sure to buy up all your Yoichi coin right now. But Kaiser, bro, I bought the Emperor coin. I bought the Emperor coin, but you're not looking all too hot as a currency right now, Kaiser. I'm not gonna lie. Though this is still a very fire panel. And wow, once again, with Bara, quick panels. With Kaiser, quick panels. Well, admittedly, that was a full page panel. But still, we aren't really getting much reactions from them. That's interesting. Is Hiori that much taller than Isagi? Jeez, I never noticed that. But the smoothest clap. They should have dapped each other up. Obviously, I know they wouldn't dap each other up, but still. You're amazing, Hiori, as expected of my buddy. Buddy? Y'all more than buddies at this point. Don't play with me. Y'all more than... I don't leap on my buddy like that. Isagi, you can't fool me, bucko. But let's see. Your shot gave me the inspiration. If we use your shot as a decoy, we could create a split-second opening. If we had complete trust in each other, I thought we could see the same winning vision. Okay. And that's interesting. So, and that's true, though. You notice Lorenzo, Aiku, and I think even Nico were all like, he's going to go for another shot again. He's going to fumble. But ultimately, Hiori learned from his mistake. He could have been selfish in that moment. He could have tried to be number one. He could have gone for it all over again, but he would have failed. But since Isagi knew, once again, it's like, I knew that you knew what I knew that you knew. He realized they're going to think that. So I'm just going to get in the perfect position to where if it looks like you're shooting, your pass could actually reach me. And then I'll be in the perfect shot or the perfect spot to take the shot. Some high IQ thinking with little bunny ears. Thanks for tagging along with my selfish demands, Hiori. Once again, I know he doesn't like the comparison, but he is low-key. He's kind of transforming into Kaiser, and I do like it. I do think the development of Isagi's ego on a positive yet negative level, a positively negative level, I like it. I think it's an interesting dynamic to take, where he's slowly more and more devolving into like a yes. Give me control. Go ahead. Take my hand. Ironically enough, I've been playing a bunch of Spider-Man 2. This is a spoiler. What's a better example? What happened to you? Is this a spoiler? It may be a spoiler, but essentially, I won't talk about Spider-Man 2. Just any scenario where Isagi's slowly turning into the person you don't want to make the deal with. Like, he's like, go ahead. Work with me. Take my hand. I'll give you a whole new world. Like he's slowly turning into that. And sure, obviously Kaneshiro Sensei and Nomura Sensei aren't going to contextualize that as a fully bad thing, because that's what Blue Lock is all about. And Isagi's journey to becoming the number one striker is all about ego. But it's interesting. It's interesting seeing him, not necessarily, he's evolving and devolving. I know it sounds so contradictory. It sounds so backwards, but just think about it. It kind of makes sense. Let's see. Hiori, you're looking sad, bucko. You're looking sad. Expectations. I never thought you could use expectations like this. Isagi's like, what you talking about, bucko? Let's see. It won't work even if both parties understand and play off each other. And it's not about one person wholeheartedly supporting the demands either. Goal. The partnership can only work if both parties believe the other sees the same winning vision. When I realized that I could play freely, a whole new world opened before me. So thanks. He's like, okay, that's nice. He's just acknowledging the fundamental properties of their union. That's nice. That's a nice little detail right there. Putting it all into perspective like that. So, Hiori, you ain't gonna quit, right? Let's see. Yeah, let's do this until we become the best players in the world. Nah. I won't play this kind of tag team football with you anymore. He's gonna say something. I'm not even gonna dive in. Let's see. From now on, I'm gonna play the brand of football that will produce the best striker in the world. He's turning into say. he's turning into say. He's gonna support the best striker in the world this passes. That's good though. I do think Hiori's gonna be used as a nice centerpiece for the U20 teams. I don't think he's gonna exclusively support Isagi. It's gonna be like in third selection, where whoever's in the most perfect position for a pass, whoever's there, whoever can understand Hiori's mentality and playstyle and see the same winning vision that he does, subconsciously and actively, so that they can do it by reflex, they're gonna receive Hiori's passes. So that's going to be interesting to see. I hope he doesn't stay biased. And don't get me wrong, you boys, you're looking at one of the number one Isagi Glazers out there. But I would be kind of disappointed if he solely became an Isagi rider. So seeing Hiori branch out that way, that's going to be very interesting. Obviously, it's going to be mostly Isagi based, but we could get some crazy chemical reaction. We could get Shida, we could get Bara, we could get Rin, we could get Nagi, we could get Ray. Oh, well, maybe not Ray. Ray's not a striker. But we could go Bachira. Like, we could go bonkers. Bachira? Is it Bachira or Bachira? I don't know. I've been pronouncing Sukuna wrong forever. I keep saying Suguna, but it's Sukuna. But so who knows? I'm not sure how to actually pronounce his name. The thing is, the anime exists though. I should just go watch the anime, but I will never watch the anime. Not that I have any hate for it. Just like, I don't watch anime that often. I do occasionally. Let's see, Hiori. Be quite honest, I was planning on quitting after this match. Okay, was. Keyword is was. We're good. But after that, being part of that goal, after experiencing that thrill, that ego, there's no way I can quit, idiot. If strikers can understand and keep up with my passes, I'll discard them without a second thought. The same goes for you too, Isagi-kun. Yeah, once again, he's just Sei. He is Sei 2.0. That was foreshadowed all the way back in U20, though, when Sendo made the comment about the level of passes he had. The curvature, the weight, the speed, the girth. Like, that was foreshadowed. So it's interesting seeing Hiori develop into a Sei kind of mindset, though admittedly in a very different form and function. That's very interesting to see. Who knows? Maybe Sei does have a very similar background to Hiori, because we only have contextualization for Sei in very little off bits. We don't have much contextualization for him, so that's interesting. Huh. Why, you? Contrary to your calm demeanor, you're quite a sadist, aren't you? Yeah, I'd say so. Huh? What you talking about? I'm an ultra sadist. Blue Lock, I love you, dog, but it's so hard to take you seriously. It's so hard. Seriously. So what to do? I'm an ultra sadist. Okay, Hiori. From now on, my life will revolve around me. That's kind of true. I mean, your life will revolve around other people, but I suppose it's your own choice now, which is nice. W panel. Nice to meet you. Oh, that's sweet. Hey, another. Oh, hopping on his back. Jeez, yours must be freakishly. Yo, give Kakabaru the high five. he ran all the way from the goal. He ran from the other side of the field to give you this high five. He saw you don't high five him. Igaguri, stay on the ground. In fact, Raichi, stomp him out like you want to stomp out Kuon. And Corona, you know what you need to do. But let's see. Next game, 6. Yo, are we already cutting to the next game? I don't see the end of chapter text. No. What? This game is... Wait, is it happening at the same time? No, it's the next game. So this game... What? Rin versus Nagi? Okay, but Munchen... But which side is this? I can't tell who the goalie is. Is Rin going in for a score, or is Nagi going in for a score? Is there about... No. This is the end of... Are we gonna see the back half of this game? Yo, Rin versus Nagi. That's a matchup I don't think we've seen it before, but that's interesting. Let's see what they can do. PXG versus Munchen 6. Uh-oh, Nagi. Looks like bro's feeling a bit like a destroyer right now. Bro's looking a little bit like Beerus right now, Bucko. I don't think this is the time. Nagi, I don't see the flow state eyes on you, Bucko. I don't think this is it. Nagi, I know you didn't just let this not full-grown man out-trap you, bro. But that's your whole kit. That's your whole thing, Bucko. That's your whole thing. You let him out-trap you? What? He trapped that? Yo, even Shigiri knows. Nagi, how you let him steal your whole flow? Word for word, bar for bar. Though, admittedly, I know that's Rin's whole thing. He takes your own strengths and uses them against you, but dog, what? That is insane. Bro said, you're trapping? Our trapping. He is literally Rayo plus, now that I think about it. Rin is if Rayo had ego. I hate to say it, but when you really think about it that way, especially based on how he does things, drawing out his opponent's weapon, sometimes stealing it and using it against them in order to surpass them, he's literally this guy right here if he actually had any ego. That's wild. And it's only Rin here. Who passed it to him? Huh? He trapped that? Stop him, Nagi! Darn it. This guy's a friggin' monster. Core strength, body balance, trapping, dribbling, shooting. This man. All of his specs. But Nagi, I don't know, bro. Please don't tell me. Nah, it's on his... Oh, no. Neo, how'd you let this slide by? Well, then again, Neo got destroyed by an even weaker Rin. And right into the goal. Bucko! Rin is him. His specs have evolved beyond comprehension. It's going to be so good to see Rin lose. But, dog, what? What is this shot? And he shot from outside the goal. Yo. Wait, was that an instant trap and shoot? Okay, no, he did. Wait, but he trapped it with his right leg, didn't he? Is that his left or his right? I can't tell. I think that's his. I can't tell which one it is. I think that's his right leg. I can't tell. But no, I think he trapped it with his left. Before the ball could hit the ground, he immediately shot it with his right. Rin is a demon, bro. Goal. PXG. He got a hat trick. He got a hat. Shido, where are you at? Shido, no. Shido, have you been power crept? Shido, have you been power crept out the plot? Shido, how'd you let him get out? And it was you get. Dog, what? Dog, what? 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 You gotta be kidding me, bros. You got, he's... Dog. What? Nagi didn't even score once. Not once. Nagi, where you at, bucko? Nagi, what happened? What's that text say? As the world erupts at Isagi's game-winning goal, around the same time in another part of Blue Lock, a familiar striker quietly bags a hat trick and a 3v1 victory over Munchen City. As an evolved Rin single-handedly destroys Munchen City, his next target is Isagi. Coming soon, the fateful showdown between the two rivals. Prepare yourself, Isagi. I'm gonna destroy you. Yo! So many things. So what in the world? So many things. Okay. Thing one. Felt like selling Dr. Seuss. Thing one, thing two. But thing one. He did it on his own. He did it straight. See, maybe the end of chapter text is misleading me. Obviously, he just got a pass, so he didn't do it truly on his own. But on a team with Shido, he got all 3 goals. On his team with Loki, he got all 3 goals. What? I was expecting at least what? Has Shido scored? Like, period point? I forget. What was we see very little of PXG. But did Shido score at all? He was on the field last time. We saw him on the field at the end of the Barcha game, but that's it. Dog. Rin may just need a nerf. Rin may need balancing, bro. But and like, here's the thing though. I'm losing my mind right now, and I'll give credit because he did destroy Nagi, but there's some context we got to put on all this. What some will call context, and by me call context. Others, the wise men, will call copium. So I'm gonna huff some copium real quick. The wins that we've definitively seen for PXG are wins against a team that didn't have a striker. Because remember, Bara was not playing when PXG went up against Ubers. So they were literally playing with a strikerless team. Sure, you had Lorenzo, and Lorenzo probably did his best. But you have Loki, plus Rin, plus Shido, plus Tokimitsu, plus Sentatsu, plus Kurasu. So you have really good facilitators, 2 really, really good strikers. And I wouldn't say the best defense. I don't know, Tokimitsu is kind of improving defense-wise. But probably solid enough defense. And plus, a lot of people are theorizing another new Gen World 11 member. So obviously, Ubers was never going to win that match. Not without Bara. And even then, I don't think they would have won anyway. Number 2, for Munchen, this is admittedly a nerfed Nagi. He has no ego right now. His ego died. It straight up died. Rayo has no ego, unfortunately. That's just the thing he does. His ego is supporting Nagi, but if Nagi doesn't care, then obviously Rayo's going to care. You can definitely argue Nagi's a bit engaged here more than usual, but considering he doesn't have a single goal to his name this entire game, and we don't see even a hint, a whiff, no Black Skelera, not even a false flow state, anything like that, it's very likely Nagi's heavily nerfed in comparison to him versus Isagi, so he's not all that. Shigiri scored. He's now top 5 Blue Lock players, I want you to know that. But Shigiri scored, so shout outs to my go. I'm going to make a top 10 Blue Lock players now. I have to. So that's crazy. I'm going to give credit to that. But also, Munchen's team defensively isn't all that. Sure, it has Neo and it has Rayo, but like defensively, the team wasn't all that. So the blitzkrieg that is Rin plus all of PXG, it literally is a team based in speed when it comes to France. It makes sense why they would get destroyed. I think we are going to see probably the best game in the series, though. We're going to see the best game in the series. But putting all that to the side, putting it all back down. Oh yeah, the chapter's worthy. Yeah, the chapter's worthy. The only disappointment, I'm going to say the one disappointment before I go straight back to Glazing. The only disappointment is, and I get this chapter has a lot to do, especially now seeing the end of it. My only disappointment with this entire chapter is that we get so little of Bara. So little, especially since we are not going to see this character for a while. Like, I mean, maybe we'll get a little bit of him post-game, because we got Nagi and Rayo stuff post-Munchen. We got a little bit of Bachira stuff, but that was way post-Barcha. But I don't know. I feel like in the moment, Bara, in a similar vein to what Kaiser got with his whole Super Saiyan page, I think, legally speaking, Bara should have gotten something similar. Maybe not like the same rage, maybe even just a grudging respect, or like even him just being blatantly angry. You don't have to develop the character all too much. Just give me more reaction. The fact that his whole reaction to an L that he promised he wouldn't take is just hands on his knees going, kuh. A little disappointing. The rest of the chapter straight fire, straight gas. Still a 10 out of 10 chapter, even with that. That's just my personal disappointment in something. It's not even bad writing. In fact, maybe giving more would be bad writing for Bara's new characterization. So I can't even really get mad at it. But everything in this chapter is kind of straight liquid gas. From the opening reactions, which all display the different mentalities behind it, to the respect/shock of the two different masters, to Gagamaru geeking out, to Isagi and Hiori geeking out, and my boy Corona geeking out, and Igaguri wasting my time, all the way to the respect of Aiku and Nico, two of, I'd say, the two best Blue Lock defenders at this point, and their metavision-based abilities, then putting raw respect on the thought process and ability behind Isagi and Hiori's collaboration. Even Lorenzo himself, a new Gen 111 member, giving Isagi full credit and admitting that that goal alone was worth 100 million. Probably putting, I'm going to assume Isagi's probably going to go up to like 150 mil. Probably. I don't think he'll be top valued. I think that will be Rin. And I do think Bara is still going to get up there. Remember, he still does have 2 goals in this game. So Isagi has 2 goals in this game, and Bara has 2 goals in this game. So Bara's value, despite him losing, is still going to be relatively high. Most likely higher than Isagi still. Ness ultimately falling into the despair. Not necessarily falling into despair. Actually starting to fall into despair, but then realizing the magic of Isagi Yoichi, him falling into the trap. Once again, taking that hand that Isagi extends out through his playing. Fantastic. Kaiser's rage and fury, not even really being addressed with words. He does not say a single word this chapter, but there's just this look of sheer anger and determination. So excited to see him lock in for PXG. Isagi and Hiori admitting their new styles. Isagi delving further and further into the manipulator, the puppet master, the wielder of those weapons that are now all for him. That is beautiful. And simultaneously, Hiori's admittance of he's not going to quit, and also he's going to be flexible. He's going to work with whoever is capable of working with him. Very, very excited. I'm very interested to see Hiori in the future. And of course, you know I gotta give major props to the end of this game, with Rin dominating Munchen. Confirmation of Nagi's overall weakness and decline as a player is nice to have. I was calling it from the moment he scored that goal. Bro was gonna fall off massively. He kind of fell off massively in Munchen already, but seeing him get absolutely destroyed by Rin, not just in his interaction with his own ability, his own trapping, but also him not even being responsible for the 1 goal they got, it just being Shigiri, goes to show how crazy Rin is, and I'm super excited to see him play in the future. And Shigiri's him. So, an insanely W chapter. If you somehow made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave "Welcome back, Rin" in the comment section down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also want to become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, I want to thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays and Red Bull 4765. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Winter, Victor, Sean, Midnight Gem Lord, Kevin, and Demix LND. I'd like to give a hefty old thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, and Idem Okami. I'd like to give another final thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. And a final scrumdiddlyumptious gargantuan thank you to our $25 patrons, Igneal and Calvin Elder.